Fun, Fresh Fridays. And I know I'm on my own. Where's Zanetta? You're probably wondering. Well, we're having a few technical problems. And if anyone is out there in the audience hearing me, listening to me, please give me a shout out. Just let me know that you can actually hear me because we may be having a few technical problems. I'm not sure if it's from my end or from Zanetta's end, but we are here. And I just want to say hello to everyone, and I want to acknowledge everyone for making time to be with us here on Fun Fresh Fridays. I know sometimes it's hard and you may be listening while you're doing other things. That's great. We appreciate you either way. Um, because life can be really busy. We've got a lot going on. We've got multiple things happening at the same time, and yeah, making that time is definitely something we appreciate and acknowledge you and know we see you. And if you are present, please hashtag live or hashtag replay if you watch this on the replay. But just to let me know if people can actually hear me, that's really the main reason. Who do we have here? Monica. Hi, hello, Monica. You can hear me. Great. That is perfect. I appreciate you coming on and letting me know that you can actually hear me, because it's something with the sound for some reason. And you're live. Yes, thank you so much. But we do have Zanetta in the backstage. I can see her all now, and she's going to be popping on soon. I'm sure she can hear me. Can you hear me, Zanetta? Give me a wave. Oh, okay. Monica says you're coming in loud and clear.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes! Woohoo! Welcome, Zanetta. I was
Okay.
trying to get the audience to let me know if they could hear me, just in case it was my end, but obviously there was something going on, technical cliche on, was it your
Yeah,
headphones or something?
yeah, it's my end.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
hello, Zanetta.
Hello. Welcome to Fun Fresh Friday.
Doo-doo. Let's start again. I did do it earlier, and I acknowledged everyone and welcomed everyone
Oh,
on.
awesome, awesome, awesome.
And
All
Monica
right.
has actually said something. Now, what did she say? Um, she has been listening to the last two shows today, so I can be caught up. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
awesome. Awesome,
Fantastic.
awesome.
Because we have had some really great two shows in the past couple of weeks, haven't we, Zanetta?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so, do you want to take a breather?
Yes.
Big breath in, hold for 2 counts,
Oh, sigh.
and that's it. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hi, Anitra. Welcome. Welcome. You know, I'm so flabbergasted. I'm so flustered. I don't even know what topic. Don't play.
Oh, that's okay. I will
I'm,
remind you. I will remind you.
I'm playing. I'm playing. I do remember. But let's give a shout out
Absolutely.
because I want
Let's
to give a shout out first.
Okay, you do.
I
Please
want to
do.
give a shout out to this wonderful, beautiful, amazing, talented, intelligent, full of love friend because she just had a birthday. Stefania.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna blush now.
Everybody that's watching, let's greet Stefania a happy birthday.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
it was her birthday. What, 3 days ago?
Yeah,
Three 3 days ago. No,
Tuesday.
four. Yeah, four. No,
Mm,
4 days ago. Yeah,
4 days ago.
four
Yes.
days ago.
Happy birthday
Yes.
to me. Thank you,
Happy
Zanetta.
birthday.
I kinda, like, shy away from birthdays. I've always I've not
Me
always
too.
I've even from young, I was like, Mum would say, "Oh, we're gonna have a birthday party." "No, I don't want a party. I don't want this, I don't want that," and I don't know, it's just, I think, not a very good behavior, but, I do celebrate with close people, family, and I
Yeah.
did. I had a wonderful day. I went out for lunch with my mum. I had a
Oh,
great day. We went
beautiful.
shopping for slippers, and she bought some really nice fluffy
Awesome.
slippers, and she bought me a slippers gift as well, which I needed new
Oh,
slippers. We're really into slippers here at home. I don't know about you guys, but, I love my warm, fluffy slippers. I
I
have
have
summer
I have
slippers, I have winter slippers.
I have fluffy bunny slippers with the
Oh,
ears.
mhm. You can't lose them.
Yeah. So Anitra says your birth March babies. Well, happy birthday, Anitra, whenever your birthday was on March.
Oh, happy birthday too. Yes, yes, we are March babies, and March has just flown already.
Bye. Yeah.
3
Yeah.
months of the year, that's really crazy.
That
That
is
is really
crazy.
crazy,
Yeah.
crazy stuff. But, yeah, so apart from that, I had a great day, and
Good.
I'm, treating myself tonight. I'm going to a sound bath healing and cacao ceremony,
Oh, a
which is
cacao. Oh,
have you ever been to one of those?
no.
No?
Mm-mm.
It's not your kind of thing,
Yeah.
drinking cacao? Mm.
Mm-mm. I don't even know what that is. Didn't know it was a thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
it's cacao, it's what they put in chocolate, but without all
Yes.
the sugar. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
actually quite bitter. It's a very acquired taste, and you can't just drink it like you're drinking hot chocolate. Definitely not. Um,
Mm. Well, I like dark chocolate, so I like
mhm.
the bitterness. The
Well, you
mm,
probably can handle straight cacao. I think you
mm,
could. But, yeah, I was invited because last week I went to a wellness festival.
mhm,
And, I met a new friend, and she's, like, invited me to this sound bath, and I've been wanting to connect with, or go to these sound bath, ceremonies. They're singing bowls.
mhm.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, the music that just comes out of them is just amazing. I did it when I went to Queensland, but I hadn't really connected with a tribe out here. So, yeah, it's just music for your soul. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, without, reading too much into it, just enjoying the energy, because
Mhm.
the crystal apparently in the bowl is, and the music, the sound that it emanates is connecting with us, because
Mhm.
our bones are 60% crystal. Did you know that?
Yes, I'm a nerd. Yes.
Me
So
too.
I don't want to show my too much nerdiness. So yes, but yes,
So,
I did
hence
know.
why when we are, touching crystals, which I have crystals all over, I got this beautiful, like, jade crystal here and a heart, but, when we touch crystals, we can resonate with them, we can really, connect. But anyway,
Mm,
today's not about crystals, it's about something else, but
yeah.
I just wanted to share my highlight for the week.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no, it is not Anitra Carty. It is Anitra Davis. Yeah. So just to answer a question that was posted or put on there. Yeah, because Anitra is on the YouTube
Oh,
site. Yeah.
Anitra,
Hmm.
eh, your friend, right? She's
Yes. Hmm.
the Anitra to what, Monica's saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm. Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So
Well,
take us away.
okay, so today, ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking about ambivalent friends, haven't we, the
Hmm.
last couple of weeks, and how
Yes.
to kind of recognize ambivalent ah, ambivalent friends,
Hmm.
and how to, pull back, or when to pull back, if to pull back. It was, if you're not, I'm not going to go back into that. Catch the replays of our last couple of series that we did, episodes, and the follow up, because, people have been sort of messaging us and,
Hmm.
wanting to know more about this. And we thought we'd talk about, I know, a lot of us, I talk for myself, but I'm sure, I know you too, Zanetta, but a lot of us out there sometimes feel that we're being used. The word.
Mm.
Used in the sense that we are being taken advantage of. Um, And we don't know, are we being taken advantage of, or are we is it just being really nice, but then there's a slight feeling that you're being manipulated at the same time? But there's something we feel, right?
Right.
And I wrote as the title, because I thought, relationship, are we do we feel like we're being used in a relationship? And I
Uh-huh.
think everyone's talking about this.
Uh-huh.
So I thought, well, is it convenience ship rather than relation,
Right.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to use that word, which is not a word. It doesn't exist. I kind of made it up. There's no such
Yeah.
word as convenience.
But I love it.
Right. And I thought, well, I'm going to make it a word in my
Mm-hmm.
vocabulary because this is something that a lot of us have experienced or somewhat felt like it's happening, but we either close our eyes to it or we turn our way from it or we react to it and we don't know how to act or navigate through these situations.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, is it the new norm? Is this convenience ship replacing the relationship of the world,
Mm.
of the norm? And yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about today, Zanetta.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting.
I can tell by your cues, your looks.
Yeah.
You got a lot to say.
I do. I do. I really do. Um,
So I'm going to let you take it away. Like, you just go right into it and I will just go with the flow.
mhm. Um, well, i- the when I look back in my relationships, my past relationships, I would say that it was convenient, out of convenience.
Mm,
It was out of convenience. We use because of my children. Well, we've been dating for over 4 years. It's, you know, he does take me to, Aruba. I'm just saying.
France.
Right, right. But the relationship suffers because it's what can you do for me and what can I tolerate? Is what comes to my mind. So yeah, the past relationships that I've had, I can honestly say they were out of convenience. Some of them were even knowingly. I knowingly was in the relationship out of sheer convenience, because they're doing something for me.
Right.
Yeah. So
And there's
yeah.
nothing wrong with that. I mean, let's get this straight. There's no right or wrong.
Well,
It
mm.
Well, I know it's hard pill to swallow. It is hard, but let me keep going and I'll back my
Well, the reason why I'm kind of cringing because when you said there's no right or wrong answer or there's nothing wrong with it, I kind of cringe on that because
No,
I
I didn't say
wouldn't.
there's nothing wrong with it. I said there's no right or wrong. Like, because you could be you're participating.
Hmm.
Remember, it takes two to clap. So if that's how you're feeling,
Hmm.
we've also got free will and choice to kind of like change that
Mm.
without
Well,
the payoffs.
true. Well, here's why I cringe. It's because I didn't want to, I didn't want the convenience to be done to me.
Mhm. Fair enough.
You know. And also it's not a good character to have. It's really isn't because basically convenience is using people. That's
Absolutely.
just the bottom line.
Mhm.
The bottom line is being used. Um, I mean, some of them wanted to be used. It reminds me of that song of Eurythmics. Some of them want to use you, some of them want to be abused.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah,
Because there's a payoff for them.
yeah, there is. There is. So, gosh, that, okay, never mind.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Go
Go
ahead. Go ahead, Janetta. No, free, speak. Yeah, I'm
ahead.
holding
Okay,
space for you.
yeah.
I'm holding space for you. And
So,
this may be something that our audience too may be feeling, maybe in
mm,
this type of situation, have been caught in these type of scenarios, and we keep getting caught in these type of scenarios. How do we put a stop to it? How do we identify them and then also say, hang on a minute,
yeah,
it's enough is enough.
right. Yeah. Well, here's what I was thinking about when I said, um, when when I got divorced, and I stayed out of convenience because I needed to get myself together. I needed a plan. I needed, some things that I needed in order to get out of that abusive, toxic relationship. But then also, I started to have relationship out of convenience
Mhm.
because, one, I was hurt. Two, I just got out of a toxic relationship, so therefore I was still toxic.
Mhm.
And so in that relationship, out of convenience, was it wasn't really me. It wasn't me. It was a different person. It was, um, I want to say it's the damaged me that was doing all of this, trying to um, ensure that this relationship won't hurt me as bad as the other relationship did. So the other relationship, I mean, if you would have met me then, I'm a total different person now. So it did a damage. I mean, it did a number on me. So I was doing a number on people, on
Mhm.
men. I was doing a number on them. I was going to use them before they used me. I was going to have a relationship out of convenience, um, to, I guess, that was my way to um, shield my vulnerability, shield my hurt, shield whatever I was trying to shield. But as I look back, I did not like that Zanetta. Didn't like it. Didn't like her. It's not my character. Yeah, I did not like her. Yeah. But now, um, with Jeff, so I don't know when it transitioned. I don't know when, and I don't know when the light bulb clicked or turned on for me to actually get myself together, do things that would heal me, take care of me, and not go into a relationship without having the other individual know what to expect from me, my expectations. Um, like, uh, you're not going to tell me to clean the house. Number one, I am not going to do your laundry. I am not going to. So I had a lot of I am not going to. And the first sign of you controlling me, the first sign, the first feeling that I get, I'm out. So that's what Jeff went
Mhm. Okay. Well, of course, you were hurting.
Yeah.
You still hadn't done much work on yourself, and I think he probably was the perfect catalyst in your life to, um, push you towards
Mhm.
growing.
Mhm.
And I'm sure, he wasn't mousy about it. He kind of like stood his ground as well, and
Mhm.
which is nothing wrong with when we, face each other and have different visions, different outlooks, different views on things, but then we can come together and discuss them, break them down, analyze, and that person is still holding space for you and supporting you. You know what I
Mm.
mean? He's
Mhm.
not downgrading you. And I think that's what was different, obviously, with Jeff as opposed to your past relationship or your past marriage, because he's always supported you. Okay, you're feeling like this, jump up and down, do your little hissy fit, have your hissy fit, but I'm still going to be standing here. So
Yeah.
however long it takes you, I'll still be here.
Yeah.
Am I right? I'm only presuming. I'm only just like,
No, actually, he. I learned that in the first, I guess, I want to say trimester. Let's use this as like a pregnancy, kind of thing. The first trimester, I know that everything is happy, everyone is excited, trying to do all these new stuff and trying to get to know the person. So you're on your best behavior because you don't want to abort the baby.
absolutely.
So you're on your best behavior. So you're doing everything, you're taking the prenatal, you're doing all of this good stuff. And so I've learned to, okay, this is the first trimester. Yeah. Mm-mm. You're gonna go through the and then the second trimester um is when, okay, I'm starting to see a little quirks, little, attitudes, little, oh, I don't like that. Oh, you don't like that? Well, I do. I'm starting to see differences. And I made sure that I put it on there. If you think that I am going to do that, no. Um, so those are the things that I put Jeff through. And he maintained from the first trimester to the second trimester.
Hmm.
He maintained. I was like, okay, this dude is
Mm.
okay. Let's go to
Third
a
trimester.
third trimester. Let's go to a third trimester. By this time, we've been, dating for over a year, and then the third trimester is now, okay, what are we going to do, because we've been doing it long distance. um, and so I wanted to let him know also, listen, I want to have my career, because Jeff is way up here. He was just, we were just talking about his pay earlier today, and he was like, I haven't made that in over 17 years. I was like, I wish I could say that. I wish I could. 17 years ago, I was making this much, you know, and 10 years ago, I was making McDonald's money. No, I'm playing. But I was teasing him about it. But, he's up there, and I told him I want to have my own career. I wanted to be able to, work up the ranks and have my career. Basically, what I was telling him, I'm going to put my career ahead of you. And guess what? He said, by all means, yes, I want you to be successful. And how you're going to be successful is this. Okay. All right. So 2 years. Okay. I give in. I give up. So that's when I finally opened up to him and, let him in. And that's when we started to have the relationship of bonding instead of comparing from the past.
Mm.
Instead of I want to touch this, poke this button. I want to push this button. I want to see your reaction, because if you react like you do, like they did, and
I'm
go.
at mm,
So I was trying everything. I was trying to find every reason to go.
mm. And that's pretty normal. Let me tell you. You're not the only one. This is
How normal is it?
well, it's normal because this is how we've been programmed to act. And
Hmm.
usually, based on our past experiences, will determine our behavior that we're going to project into the future.
Mm,
Because it's only through those, triggers, those pains, we've been coded, where our subconscious has been coded. So then we start automatically reacting from that programming.
mm,
So you were doing the best you could. And you just happened to find a man that could see beyond that. You're just blessed. You're not lucky because I think luck runs out. I always say you're blessed because blessings
yes.
don't run out. That you found a man that saw beyond that, saw through all that.
Hmm.
And he's like, mm-mm, it's just a matter of time. It's okay. Keep going. I'm still going to be here for you.
Yeah.
Just lovingly supporting you and giving space. That's all. And I'm sure he wasn't a pushover, you know what I
No.
mean? Because this is not what I want to convey here. He was wise enough, knowledgeable enough, experienced enough, I don't know, whatever you want to say, that
Hmm.
he knew within himself that it was just a matter of time that you then, up leveled and trusted, because all he was giving you was love and trust.
Yeah.
And, when someone just offers that to you, you can kick and shout and go to the trough, like, those cartoon horses that are like on their hind legs
Yeah.
and they don't want to go. Got the
Yes.
image? Right. Well, we get like that. And it's only through the hurt and pain, but we only act and react because we're basing our present experiences from our past, because
Yeah.
that's what we went through and that's what we know best and how we're going to protect our hearts.
Hmm.
So, yeah, well, definitely. So, you're talking from the perspective then of being in relationships, of being used, or also being, the person
Using.
using.
I'll
Right,
admit it. I
right.
know.
Uh, You know what? And that's great. How many people actually go out there and say, I know that was a rebound. That relationship was just a rebound. I just needed someone there for me. And we
Hmm.
use all these other different types of terminology, but apart from the word,
Hmm.
I used him. I used her because she was good for me at the time. She helped
Hmm.
me through that hurdle. He helped me through get over this financial whatever, or you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
But if you are on the receiving end, of course, that can create a lot of bitterness,
Mm.
because, you know, have a look at your previous marriage, right? You could have felt being used there. Your husband maybe had you there for, hypothetically speaking, as the wife, as the nurturer, have the baby, stay home, do this, do that, do. And I still command the household and you have no say. And is it right? Am I right?
Check.
Okay,
Check.
check, check,
Check.
check.
Yes, you're right.
So so it was convenient for him to have you there as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
so there's always, you know, some transaction. We used this word loosely the other day, remember?
Yes.
Transactions in relationships, whether we know it or we don't. Now, sometimes on the receiving end, we may know it. We know what's happening, but we just still allow it to happen. Sometimes we know it's happening and we just build frustration, anger, resentment, all those emotions
Hmm.
because we're not ready yet. We don't know how. We don't know how, take the next move, whether it's leaving, separating, detach, I don't know, whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
But we still hang in it, right? And we know we're being used. But I always say in those scenarios, because we can often point the finger, he used me, she used me,
Mm-hmm.
she knew exactly what she was doing. But on the receiving end, we also knew what he or she was doing.
Right.
And rather than looking at it as being used, and sure, it hurts. It does hurt. I won't lie. I've felt it too, right? But if we can look at it from a different perspective and say, okay, what was the lesson in that?
Mm.
Really? What did I learn?
Mm-hmm.
And you can reverse engineer it, break it down from that perspective to understanding that I needed to go through that
Mm-hmm.
to build resilience. I needed to go through that to fortify me. I needed to go through that to prepare me for the next, you know, stage of my life or
Right.
career or whatever it is, that nothing's lost. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, it's all feedback.
Mm.
It's all feedback. And, I have had many of those. And I will be the first one to admit I've been the one that's always been resentful. I have. And step back into, get ready for this one. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
say it, a victim.
Mm.
It's so easy to fall into being a victim because
Mm-hmm.
you know that victim gets attention, victim gets, cuddles, and someone will stop and listen to you and blah, blah, blah. And it's, again, there's nothing wrong with being in that, but being in that victim stage, but don't sit in it. Don't drown
Right.
in it. Don't embody yourself in it, that you claim it and make it yours and then use that to your
Mm-hmm.
own convenience to get what you want because you're
Right.
just doing the same thing, but
Right.
just in a different format.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah. Oh, makes perfect sense because I mean, I had a conversation. I was having a conversation last night and this morning about a relationship. I'm not going to mention who it is or what my affiliation is with this individual. Uh,
Mhm. Somebody.
yeah, somebody, because there's some people here that are watching that will know who it is that I'm talking about. They'll figure it out.
Mm.
So I was discussing with this individual um, because I got the message, and uh, crying the victim. And my question was what was said correct? And the answer was, yes, I do too, but he's worse, or they're worse. I said, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Both of you are wrong. But what was said was correct. Just because you didn't like what was said,
Mm.
don't act like, there, there's no. The difference is that one, you're spoiled because if you don't get what you want, you act the victim, you
Mm.
cry the victim, and then you want to post it all over on Facebook to get what?
Attention?
For what? Attention. Yeah, because you're throwing a tantrum and you want somebody to come and rescue you. No. Well, I'm weak. No, you're not. Well, okay. When you say you're weak, you're 100% correct because you say you're weak. If you say you can't, you are 100% correct.
Mhm.
If you say you can't do it or won't do it, don't know how to do it, don't have the intelligence to do it, you are 100% correct. I even told my daughter when we were going out and we just got our garage fixed. And so now you can put in the code and it'll open and it'll close. And so immediately she said, well, I will never remember that code. And I said, "What? What? Why did you just shoot yourself? Why did you now just automatically say you won't remember it? Of course, you're not going to remember it right now, but give yourself the opportunity to. So if you're going to say it that you're not, you're 100% correct. I won't remember that. You're 100% correct. Now, if you change your language, you change your verbiage and say, you know what? I'm going to try to remember that. Total different approach. Total
Mm,
different. You're giving yourself a chance. You're giving yourself, that. So, yeah. So sometimes just play the victim. There's nothing wrong in being hurt. There's nothing wrong in, expressing the hurt. But when you play the victim, then
mm. And there's only so many times you can play the victim because, if you're playing the victim over and over with the same people, it soon becomes tiresome.
it, it's exhausting.
And your friends, your family, whoever it is, if they love you enough, they'll pull you up on it because they care enough about you that they don't want to see you in that victim state, and they'll tell you the truth. And that's what hurts because they are telling you the truth. And, rather than slipping back into victim again because they are telling you the truth and you think,
Mm-hmm.
oh, no, to them because they know they're the only ones that can understand me and take sides with me and la-di-da-da, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When they tell you the truth and that hurts, well, then that is a wake-up call for
And it,
you.
it should be.
It should be. It is essential to take it on board as a wake-up call because it's it's time to wake up. It's time to be conscious of how you behave, how you speak, and where you're putting your attention. Because when you put your attention and intention together with it, you are going to go exactly to wherever you're putting your attention and your intention. Because wherever attention is, there is an intention behind it. So when we are
Ooh,
aware, we're
say that again. I want up that is drop the mic moment. What did you just say? Hold on. What? Say that one more time.
wherever you put your intention follows because they kind of walk together. They're pigeon pairs. And if you
Mm,
have an intention about something, what are you going to do? You're going to put your attention on it.
mm,
So both
yeah.
of them go together. So all your energy, all your, focus is going on that. Now, this is where we have to be conscious,
Mm,
awake. Okay? Ask yourself, well, where am I putting my attention right now? You literally have to ask yourself questions. It's like you would ask your daughter, hang on a minute, where do you think you're going with those dirty slippers? You were just trampling in the garden and your slippers are supposed to be for inside, but you're now from the garden walking inside with your slippers. I'm using that as an
mm-hmm.
example. You
That's
will
a
pick up on that, right? You will make a note and you'll bring it to her attention because it's come to your attention. So we are so good placing our attention and intention on everyone else. Let's start looking inwards now. Let's
mm,
start i- giving ourselves that inventory,
mm, mm-hmm.
investigation,
Right,
interrogation,
right,
and however that may look for you. You know what
right.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is what I've been working on, Zanetta, in particularly the last week, and
Mm-hmm.
can I tell you the truth? It has been challenging. I won't say it's been easy. No, it has been because my brain is so programmed in a certain way that now I am starting to rewire it and it doesn't
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
So what happens? We get resistance.
Yes.
And resistance will show up in many ways: frustration, anger, sadness, depression,
Mm-hmm.
procrastination,
Yes. Yeah. It does.
withdrawing. you know?
Yeah.
And it shows up and I'm like, now why I'm just so excited about what I've just discovered here about,
Mhm.
my intention and attention and rewire. And why am I just okay, I'm aware of it. I'm
Yeah.
conscious. Just let me rephrase. Let me just reframe what I'm
Mhm.
thinking.
Right. Exactly. So, so my job as an investigator, I have to reframe what you're trying to say. So you can say a whole bunch of stuff, and I have to put it in and condense it to where it makes perfect sense. It's concise and precise.
Mhm,
And so when you do the reframing,
mhm.
especially, my niece is listening and she said to learn more. Please do. Um, so when you start to reframe your language and what you're paying attention to, then it becomes it just makes your understanding,
Mhm.
it makes your vision
Mm.
wider
Mhm.
because you're looking at a tunnel vision. So this morning I was looking at some post, and the post that says 97% of you are gonna fail
Mm.
in this, and or only 1% can give the right answer. So I'm looking at the post, and I'm always curious with those posts.
Okay.
97% of you are going to fail, or 1% will only know the right answer.
Mhm.
So because it teases my mind, it teases my brain. I'm like, "Psh, I got this. I want to know what stupid question you have."
Correct.
So the post was 1 plus 5 equals 6. 2 plus 6 equals 27, or something like that. Um, 3 plus, let's just say, 4. 3 plus 4 is 32. Then the next question was 5 plus 8 equals what? So, of course, everybody's giving out this god awful number that I don't know how they came about with that number. And I said, the answer is 13. No matter how you put it, 5 plus 8 is 13. 8 plus 5 is 13. Even in the other countries, 5 plus 8 is equals 13. No matter where you go, it's going to be 13. It does not matter if those other two equations are wrong.
Correct.
The question is, what
What
is 5 plus 8?
right. Well,
So
see do you see how people are over
gullible
yeah,
victims.
yeah, yes, and they're also, um, they're being I call it somewhat being tricked because it's a trick question. That's all it is.
To get you to pay attention to other things other than the actual equation. So you're
Right.
trying to figure out, because 97% is going to fail.
Fail. Right. See, already
Now, if you reframe that,
yes, 97% of you are
97%,
gonna get it right.
because it's a simple math.
Correct. So therefore, and yet,
Hmm.
because of your nature and also your profession, I get it, Zanetta, you are much more conscious, particularly of the spoken word, of the written word. So, you kind of get it.
Hmm.
But when you aren't conscious, when you aren't present, when you aren't awake, you slip into the unconscious.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the danger.
Hmm. I mean,
Unless,
I,
we are not programming that in a way that serves you
right,
positively.
right. See, here's the thing. I'm in this profession now. This is my profession. So my brain is now, thinking like that, very analytical, very, reframing everything. But I didn't have this profession from the jump start, you
No.
know. Um, and it took me a while for me to understand how to reframe certain things. It took me, I mean, it was frustrating.
Mm.
Let me tell you, how to, it was frustrating.
Right.
I mean, I would
You know
have
why? Do you know why, Zanetta? Do you know why?
rewiring that brain. That
Right.
brain,
The brain doesn't like change.
no, it does not.
It doesn't like change.
Yeah.
And, you know, when we don't like change, there's resistance. It's the unknown that you're stepping into. And there's like, that's when the handbrakes go on. That's when the resistance happens.
Hmm.
But who's in control?
Exactly.
Who's in control? Your mind or you?
Right.
So you're the one that programs. It's like when you open up your laptop or your computer, you're in control. You put it on and then you go to wherever you want to go, search engines or go to your hard drive or go to your files. You're programming. You're the one that's pushing the buttons.
Right.
We do it with our computers, but we're not conscious enough to be doing it with ourselves, on ourselves, or we're doing it with other people. We're good with doing it with other people.
Yes.
But we're not practicing that with
Right.
ourselves.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the jam we get into. And that's when, taking it all back into feeling used and being used is because we're not taking back our power.
Hmm.
We're handing our power over to others. So we
Right.
can't be pointing fingers. We've got to take our responsibility and say,
Right.
yep, I did do it, just like
Yeah.
and for whatever it was. But it also took another person to keep it going. So,
Right.
you're not responsible for his reaction. He's saying yes. And this is what I say to a lot of men as well that feel used when they say, women are gold diggers, women just want my money. They were hang on a minute. Hang on a minute.
Jeff says women saw him as a walking checkbook.
A walking checkbook. There you go. But who was allowing that? Who was actually allowing that to keep going?
Hmm.
And that's another whole story about, men feeling like that's their role. That's what no, well, that can be their role, but they can choose to do it with people that are genuine about it, that
Right.
are, when I say genuine, that are, they're both investing together. And
Hmm.
if a person, you're looking at their past history and they're doing this, and well, then you're just the next victim. So
Right.
you got the opportunity to say yes or no.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's tap into finances because finances is a, I think, because you said that people can use, in relationships or out of convenience. One of
Mhm.
them was finances.
Mhm.
I think finances is probably number one culprit in majority, if not the top. Yeah, top three, maybe top two.
Mhm.
Um, culprit as to why couples or relationships go down the drain, why relationships are being used or out of convenience
Mhm.
is finances. So let's talk about that.
Mm.
Let's tap into that. Let's tap into that for 10 minutes.
Okay. This could be another conversation for
Yes,
next
we will
week.
continue it.
Yeah, deeper, deeper. So, well, yes, this is something that is being brought to my attention, and it often comes up in conversations with men and with women. Let me say, because women are ranked up there too with earning good salaries and on a good wicket, and feel that they're only, they're having men come into their lives because of, whatever they're earning, their status, da da da. Da. So it doesn't matter. male or female, it doesn't matter. We're not talking about that. But some people do feel that. Now, why do we feel that? This is, we can go deep in this, because this also could mean we have money issues.
Mm-hmm.
When I say money issues, not that we don't have enough money, we could have enough money, but we have a poor relationship with money.
Mm.
So when we have a poor relationship with money,
Dig deep.
right, when we have a poor relationship with money, that kind of overflows into a relationship, because when you're in a relationship, it's like it's money. There's a transaction of, things being spent, you're having a good time. It weaves together with a
Mm-hmm.
relationship. I've
Mm-hmm.
often heard people say, and I, you know, s- say it sometimes, that a relationship is like a business. You've got to treat it like a business. You've got to invest in it, right?
Right,
But
right.
I'm talking about energy, investment in energy and time, and you know, all that. That's the investment and the business sense that I'm talking, not just financial. But
Mm-hmm.
that is a part of it as well.
Right.
That is a part of it. So, yes, some people feel they're being used just for their financials. And, sometimes we do see it where, one party's a lot older, very mature, and
Mm-hmm.
the other partner is a lot younger, whether it be the male being, you know, older, or and the female younger, or vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of looks like, oh wow. Now, there are some couples that are genuinely have an age gap, but they're in sync. And you can naturally pick that up energetically. The couples that have, 10, 15, 20 years difference. I've seen
Mm-hmm.
that. But they're the most amazing couple together. They're in love. They understand each other. Yes, they have disagreements, but they can work through every challenge they're faced with, and they're always there for each other. Okay? That's
Yes.
a whole different story. But then you have some other couples that there is a big age difference, and their relationships aren't lasting. They,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just putting an approximate, time, between 3 to 6 months, maybe 12 months, if it's really, they can stretch it out that long. But in the interim, there's a there's a big price they've paid financially to be in that relationship. I was speaking to someone not long ago, and he was saying, my first wife took something like 20 million. And then I know, and then he was saying that the second relationship he got into, or one of the more serious ones, was, he was taken for $10,000, which it's a big jump from 20 million to 10,000. But
Um,
he was jaded, right? So this 20 million, so that 10,000 felt like 20 million to him, because that was bringing back all those memories, triggering all that programming in him.
right.
And that was the whole issue, because then, his investment to work on himself was a quarter of that, not the millions, the
Right.
thousands, right?
Right.
That he felt that was expensive, when that was an investment in his own self. And I said, but isn't that funny how, you've invested 20 million on that person, that marriage, that wife, and then another 10,000 on someone that you were just dating. And yet for yourself, you know, we're not willing to invest in ourselves. It just doesn't make sense. To me, it didn't make
Mhm.
sense. But
Well,
yes,
it's
there
because of this. And I will oh hi. My cat came in. I don't know how because I closed the door. But anyway, so here's the thing, and here's the issue, is because we think, and these are the lies we tell ourselves,
mm,
um, that we're smart enough. We learn from the past, and we're not going to do it again. And then when we do it again, here we go. And the question is, well, why can't you, you know, um, invest in yourself? Why should I invest in myself? Because I got it all together. You know, I
Well,
got it all together.
it
Yeah.
may seem, or you may talk yourself into having it all together, but
And
if you're
that's the lies that
that's
we tell ourselves.
exactly.
Um, with just one scenario, you can tell right away that you don't have it all together with
Mm,
just one, because it will send you up the wall. It will give you a reaction of, this, what are you talking about? See, that's what's wrong with you men. Then everything becomes generalized. You women are just nothing but gold diggers. Hold on,
correct.
not all women.
No, that's right.
So so it becomes generalization because you know that one thing, just one thing that pushed that button to show that you ain't got it all together.
Mm. No. Exactly, exactly, and that's what I'm saying, where, we are programmed then, we're feeling jaded, we're feeling hurt, so we're projecting out there, you know, with that energy, that frequency that, wherever your attention goes, energy flows. So you're already attracting that back into your life. And you think, again, like, I thought I just dealt with someone that was like that was a gold digger. Well, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you're still afraid of it. It petrifies you to know that someone could be coming into your life. And she's so sweet. Why is she so sweet? Why me? I'm just like average Joe. I don't have a body built like a bodybuilder, or I'm this, I'm that. Or yeah, I drive a Ferrari or I drive a Porsche or whatever. And, so they start thinking in those terms. So, well, yeah, she could possibly be that because you're already in that frame, mind frame. You're already
Yeah.
projecting that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of layers that one needs to work through to, you know why this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
What are my thoughts? The interrogation. Hang on a minute. Let's start being conscious here. What are my thoughts? What am I believing in? How am I speaking? Let me just change this without having to really have that evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Remember I spoke about evidence procedure, where we can future pace? And
Yes.
this is where you can play with your imagination, play with your mind, and really create that relationship that you so truly desire here first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And be living from that field, from that state of joy and bliss, regardless of whether you have a woman or a man next to you or not. That's
Right. Right. Just like I love the video that you did um, about the pumpkin. Love that video. And even though those pumpkins look gorgeous, and they were huge too.
They were.
Um,
I just picked them. Mum said, "Go and pick those pumpkins because they're gonna rot. We need to pick them out of the garden." I said, "Okay, okay," because it'd been raining quite a bit, but yesterday I had
yeah.
picked them. I said, "You know what? I'm gonna do a video right now. These pumpkins are so lush, like." And they,
Yes, but the thing is,
mm.
you did not plant it.
No,
You didn't
swear to
consciously
God,
plant it.
no.
It was from this compost. You said it was probably from the compost, and there was a seed that probably would, and it grew because it was being cultivated, because there was rain, it was being watered. So, and then here pops up this pumpkin that you're like, where did this come from?
True, the plant, and I got a previous video a couple of weeks ago where I did film the plant. It was just taking over the whole garden. It was literally just taking over. It was
Hmm.
huge. I said, "Well,
Yeah.
let's see what happens. Let's see what grows from this, because it can't be just growing and nothing's growing." And then all of a sudden, we see these 2 pumpkins, and before you knew it, they were like this. I'm going, "Can you get a load of this, mum?"
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that's a lesson in itself. I was like, I love this content. This is just, I'm a nerd, um so yeah, it can get to that point that you don't even know. It's just from a conversation,
Mhm.
from a situation, and that seed or whatever it is has already been planted in your mind, and
Mhm.
that's going to cultivate, and you're going to water it because of all of these little emotions. Your attention is giving it, what do you
Your
what did you
intention,
your
y
intention. Yeah, your attention, you're giving it intention.
yes,
So now it's going to grow, and then next thing you know, you're going to have fruit. It's going to bear fruit. Whatever that fruit is, it can be the fruit of anger, it could be the fruit of jealousy, it could be the fruit of um, uh, what betrayal, whatever the
yeah,
fruit
many,
is going to be, and you're going to have to cut it.
yes,
If you don't like the fruit, cut it.
yes.
Remove it
Yes,
from the root. Remove it. If you don't like it, remove it. You know,
yes,
does it take work? Of course it does.
yeah. It's not easy getting rid of roots when you're
No.
especially even when you're, and bringing the analogy of gardening, when you're trying to get rid of some roots, I tell you what, the hardest, wouldn't believe. Do you know what grows underneath bamboo?
Oh,
Have you ever seen
yeah.
the roots on bamboo? Of course you have. In the Philippines, they'd be everywhere, right? And they spread and they go deep. They go
Deep.
so deep. You have to really, oh my God, it's like, and on top you see this beautiful bamboo that you think, oh, I'd have just a few roots under there. No way. No way. So
No.
what looks pretty up you know, on top is not necessarily what's happening underneath in the
Yes.
roots. Yeah. So yeah,
And
you've
then
got
they intertwine with each other too.
yes,
So, and if you break one of them, it'll still keep on growing and then it'll sprout. Yeah.
correct.
Bamboo grows its roots for 5 years
Yes, I
bef-
know. We've had all
before.
our bamboo. Dad used to grow bamboo in the backyard, and
Yeah.
that's how I know because we got rid of some because it was just taking over, and we just left it there because it was Dad's thing. So, yeah, it's just so interesting. But if we can really, be conscious of our thoughts, be conscious of, our spoken word, where we are in the present moment. Are we in the present moment? Or are we drifting off into the past? Are we, navigating through life from past circumstances,
Mm-hmm.
past behaviors, past experiences?
Mm-hmm.
And if we are, you know, time to change,
Right.
time to change. And if you're operating from that past and you're not prepared to change, well, you can't expect a different outcome. You just can't. And that's when Einstein says, when he says pure madness or insanity,
Yes.
when you're
Sanity.
trying to, you're doing the same thing over and over,
Expecting a different result.
result. It's so true. It's
That
so
is insane. I
exactly.
don't know why.
Right, but we keep doing it, right? So that
Hmm.
programming, the program needs to be
Yeah.
changed. That's all. You need to
Yeah.
rewire, you know?
Right. We need to rewire. Well, this was a great conversation. I really love
Yeah.
this. This is really great.
And we have gone over a little bit of time, which is not too bad.
Yeah.
Not too
But that's
bad.
good.
But
Yeah.
we've
That's.
yeah, I love this kind of stuff. I love this kind of conversation. But, know that um being used, bringing it back to,
Hmm. Yes. Convenienceship.
convenience ship, you know, we just have to be mindful and conscious of when it's
Mhm.
happening or if we're doing it. And, and even if we are doing it and it's not sitting right anymore because it just isn't, because we're evolving. If
Mhm.
we can't look at ourselves today and say we're the same what we were 10 years ago, 5 years ago,
Right.
even last week, because we're constantly evolving. So if that doesn't sit right with you anymore, you have the power to change it. You have the power to, excuse yourself, take responsibility, whatever it needs to be. And it's okay. You end up being, that better person,
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
better person, better version
Right.
of yourself. And I think
Yeah.
people have more respect for you, you know. Yeah. Yeah. I know I've been in situations, I've been in relationships, um, and even of late, because I haven't really been in a relationship for a very long time, but
Mhm.
that's my choice. Not to say that I haven't had the opportunity, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
But in some cases, I've been really honest, and it may feel like rejection, but I've actually saved somebody's heart. Believe it or not. And if only they can see it like that rather than rejection, that that would just, really light up my heart. But I can't, because I can't, you know, condition people or make people think or feel a certain way.
Right.
But my intention, if I had bad intentions, sure, I could have, you know, used the
Easily.
convenienceship, particularly in the state that I have been in. And
Mhm.
but I'm not about that, because that's not what I want for myself, and I truly believe that that's not what I would do to someone else. And yeah, being honest, and of late, I did have someone, that was truly grateful for that, actually thanked me, believe it or not, and I've never had that happen. Um, and that's something I really
That's refreshing.
refreshing to know that there is another human being out there that understood
That's
exactly.
when you know maturity is in the forefront.
Right.
Yeah, maturity is in the forefront.
But I think also that happened because I was so upfront and so honest and said, I can see where this can lead to and where it's going to go. And it's not pleasant. It's not going to be pleasant.
Mhm.
I could go on about the story, but that we'll leave it for another time, because I know it
That'll
kind
be
of,
good for alive.
I know I've left it out. Like, what could it be, But it is deep. The whole situation is deep. But I was honest, and I really was proud of myself and I had the courage to actually say it without taking on board any um, of that other person's emotions.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. And you
And
said you said one thing as well, but I would love to see that on your live. Um, just a hint. I'm just hinting. Yeah. Um, but one thing you said, when you're the one who's doing this using,
Mhm.
don't get mad when karma comes knocking at your door.
Exactly.
Don't be mad. Just say, "Come on in." Okay.
I
You
know where this
got
comes from.
you got me. I recognize this.
Uh-huh.
Yep. So yeah, it's interesting how um being ambivalent, it's it's not a good place to be.
No,
Yeah,
no.
you're in that in between. I think that's why the scripture says, you're neither hot nor cold, you're lukewarm, I will spew you out. Um, I can understand because that's where the ambivalent is in the lukewarm
Mm,
um, uh,
mm.
air category, and so yeah, that's interesting.
Very.
Very good conversation.
Thank you, Zanetta. Thanks for, as always, I love this show, and thanks for having me on this show with you
Yeah,
to talk about this. And thank you to all our audience that is out there, being present. We thank you. We acknowledge you. We see you. Of course, hashtag live, hashtag replay. If you've gotten through and still hanging in there listening to us now, and you got it on the
We
replay,
cannot forget about
hashtag, you say it. You say it today.
troll. Troll.
Hashtag trolls. We love you too. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason,
We always love to give you content because we know you're using us.
oh,
This relationship is out of convenience-ship. Well, we know that. So,
we thank you. We love you. We love everybody, and
that's
we
Zanetta.
appreciate you. Thank you, Zanetta. Thank you. And yeah, this is fun, and I love being part of these conversations.
Yeah.
I think we all learn from this, and we are at the age of awakening, evolving, and just you can see it out there. Everyone just wants to be a better version. Everyone wants to, um, and there's more of us now, which is really great because
Hmm.
this is what's spreading as
Hmm.
you know, the awakening virus. Let's
Yes.
call it that.
Yes.
The awakening. Yeah, it's really great. So thank you, Zanetta.
Thank you.
And as always, we love you all. We send you love and
Passion.
yes. Bye
Until
for
next time.
now.